Thank you, you guys. I'm sorry. There's a problem in my office. It happens sometimes, and I don't leave my coworkers stranded. And if I gotta run really quickly, you guys will all know something's going on, okay? Hello and good morning. Thank you for being with me and bearing with me. I'm trying, you guys. I'm having a Friday on a Monday, and it's Wednesday. All right. Somebody's trying to chat with me. How can I help you guys? Somebody have something they want to talk about right away?
Hi, Patty.
Hi.
It's Lorena. I always have something.
I need you to send me a text message after this meeting.
Okay.
I have a client that's in need of your services,
Oh, awesome.
and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. I'll text you as soon as we're done.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you on a few different scenarios, and I'm quickly to give everybody else a chance. My first scenario is I have a new client who just gave me over his properties, and he was managing all his stuff, him and his wife. And so I have the properties that I have leases on all of them, but there's no disclosures. Do I just write up all the disclosures and serve everybody after I give them the new notice of the new management?
Are they in a lease term?
Yes. Oh, most of them are month to month.
If they're in a term, you can't serve them a notice. Only the month to months.
Okay.
Okay,
And
the only
what about
notice
like
you can the only notice you can
Uh-huh.
serve while they're in a term is anything required by law. Bed bugs, lead-based paint, asbestos, etc.
I can serve those because I don't see any of that in the files.
Yes, you can serve anything mandated, meaning required by law,
Okay.
but that's it.
So okay. So that was my main concern because I do need to get them all of the mandated disclosures. So I can serve them all of them, no matter what kind of lease they have. And then on the month-to-month ones that are not in lease, then I can do the 30 days for the barbecue and the satellite dishes and all of that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
The only thing you can serve to somebody that's in a term is anything mandated. Mandated means it's required by law.
Right. And the ones that are
Okay.
required by law is bed bug, mold, lead, um,
Asbestos.
the asbestos. I was asking because I looked at the in the AGLA forms and I couldn't find an asbestos in AGLA. And I called Jennifer over there and she said that it was in the lead
No, it is
disclosure.
not. No, it is not. Do not even pretend that they are one and the same. An asbestos disclosure is different. I'd have to read AGLA's form to see if they combined them. They're
Mhm.
usually separate because lead is pre-1978 and asbestos is
78.
pre-1986.
Yeah.
I
By the
should
way, I just
know all of this.
I know I just passed my exam last night for the with
I believe there's a one bedroom available. Let me check our vacancies. Give me one moment.
Uh-oh, somebody's on there talking. Let me see if I can figure out who it is. Okay, and you have what?
I said I took my exam last night with California Apartment Association for the certified property manager and I passed. I'm so happy.
And did it help you to understand you had to use BRE laws to pass that exam?
Yes, it did. And I'm still like a little bit lost. I have to keep looking at that handbook over and over to answer my questions, but it's a step in the right direction.
Hey, I'm telling you, I didn't even read their classes or anything. I just let the video play while I was working. And then I
Yeah.
took the exam and I failed it. I was like, how did I fail this? And then I called my friend. I was like, I just failed the exam. And she goes, oh, change your real estate law to BRE law instead of practical law and you'll pass. And I went, huh? And then I understood what she said. So I paid attention, went back, and sure enough, guess what?
Fast. That's so
But
funny.
I think that goes for taking your real estate exam too. It's not you need to know the answers to how to do business. It's you need to know the answers to pass their exam. That is all.
Absolutely. Exactly.
It doesn't mean it's practical knowledge. It's just what they
Yeah,
want you to know to pass their exam. All right, I got more questions.
exactly.
I
Okay,
see
so
them
then my
coming
next
through.
question, yeah,
Go
my
ahead.
next question is for a property. Yeah, it's for a property that is in the city of Bell, I think, Bell or Cudahy. So the insurance had us, the insurance sent an inspector and they wanted us to change the electrical. In order to change the electrical now, the Southern California Edison went out and they wanted us to merge our box together. So we have to dig. And another request from the insurance company was that they wanted us to redo the driveway because it had like a lot of like, potholes and stuff like that where somebody could trip. So we're gonna do that. And they're gonna start the work on Monday. And at the same time, there's this old carport that the insurance company wanted to take down because it's falling apart and full of termite. And so
It's
we're
an
gonna tear
attractive
that down.
nuisance.
Yeah, tear that down and tear down a bunch of like stuff, attractive nuisance stuff that it's hanging on by a string. So my question is, how do I inform the tenants that, like they can't park on the driveway and that the carport's gonna be torn down and all this stuff is gonna be taken down? What notice do I give them?
You need to write them a letter telling them of your plan and tell them that they need to be out of that area by such and such date. If your work's going to start on the 10th, you want them out of that area by the 8th. And don't tell them it doesn't start till the 10th. Just make sure they're doing what they're supposed to. So it gives you a 2-day window to go, hey, didn't you get my letter?
Yeah. Okay, and then it can just be a letter. I don't have to give them like a work notice or 24-hour notice since no one's gonna go in their unit.
Bingo.
Got it. Okay, so then just a letter letting them know what days they're gonna work. And because one of the carports, the tenants are using it and it's not gonna be there anymore, do I have to let them know that that carport's gonna be gone?
Are you replacing the carport?
No.
So you're doing a reduction in services. You now need to do a reduction in rent.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's bait and switch.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And then how do I inform them of that? That is gonna be that reduction.
We have to demolish the carport. It will no longer be there for you to use. So we need you to move all your personal belongings out of it by such and such date. And we will be giving you a rent reduction starting on that day.
Okay, very good.
The rent
Thank you.
reduction will be in the amount of blank.
Got it. Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much.
No worries. I see Melanie has a question. Larso, we had a fire at the property in October and the tenants are still lingering. We're almost finished with moving out their belongings, but the crackhead, and that's the nicest way I could say it, daughter is still sticking to her trash in the garage. We've had the police on multiple times. They're not much help at all. Any suggestions? The parents have their ice cream trucks parked in the front still. Can we have them moved? It depends on what you're doing and what you came about. You're probably going to have to send them a certified letter saying, hey, do this or else, remove this or else. I'm going to do it for you and send you the bill. Probably going to have their cars towed, the ice cream trucks towed. Patty, I have some practical questions about leasing with deposit hold. Larso, go ahead, Arlene. Let me know when you're ready. You can unmute yourself and pick my brain. I think what you're talking about is a security deposit, a
No,
holding
hi, Patty.
deposit agreement. Hi.
Yeah, hi. No, what I was curious about, and I don't know in practice what your experience has been. There's like if somebody says, "Oh, I'm interested in the property, here's whatever, $150 non-refundable deposit." No, to take it off the market till you do no.
Do you want to know why?
Well, I mean, I have never done it because I don't want to, I want to keep showing it because if it doesn't, you know, if they don't qualify, I don't want to lose people. Right? Okay.
The second you take any money from an applicant, they become your tenant unless it is the screening fee.
Okay.
So if you take a holding deposit agreement from them, you just agreed to rent to them. When can they move in?
Wow. Because AGLA has that as one of their forms. So, okay.
They
was
have a
curious, I've
holding
never used-
deposit. They have a holding deposit agreement. And what that means
Correct.
is I'm accepting your deposit money and I'm now holding this off the market for you. If you back out, I'm going to charge you daily rent out of that money. That is what a holding deposit agreement is for, nothing else. So once you approve them, you have them bring in the security deposit, sign the holding deposit agreement, and you're now holding it off the market for them. If they back out, you're going to charge them daily holdover damages from the time they sign that agreement till the time they backed out in writing. Make sense?
Wait, I'm a little confused of timing. Hold on one second. That somebody comes to see the unit. They say, I'm interested. I give them the criteria and the application.
They apply, you
Right.
approve them, you have them sign a holding deposit agreement.
Oh,
They're going
after
to
the
move in.
approval.
Bingo.
After the approval. But
And
can't
you're
you
going to
just at
hold
that
it.
point?
You're going to hold it for them for 3 weeks until they move in. Now, 2.5 weeks later, they call you and say, I changed my mind. I don't want to move in there anymore. Send me that in writing. On writing, this is the day I'm backing out. Okay, now I'm charging you rent from the day you signed that agreement till the day you backed out in writing, and I'm refunding you the difference. Got it?
So how much do you typically take in a holding agreement?
Whatever your security deposit is on the property is what I take in a holding agreement.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And my holdover damages is daily rent. Got it?
Interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if they give it to you in writing, you're basically now doing a disposition of security deposit within 21 days and charging them daily rent as a holdover damage. Hi,
Okay.
I'm here to help you.
That's really interesting. Okay.
Well, a
Patty,
lot of
this is,
people want to charge holdover damages because the tenant backs out, but there's no holding agreement in place. That's when you cannot charge them.
Gotcha.
Uh,
But would you, to avoid that interim thing, could you, when you approve them, sign the lease right then?
But
Have
I
them
don't
come and sign
want
it?
to. I don't want to sign the lease until the day they move in. I don't want a
Because,
pre-signed lease ever.
so Patty, it's best not to take a holding deposit because it gets really complicated.
No, it's best to take a holding
take a holding.
deposit.
Patty,
The holding deposit is the tenant's security deposit amount.
Patty, can you elaborate why you don't like to sign the leases prior to the move-in?
If the tenant that's vacating doesn't move out timely, now you have 2 people that you legally have to provide housing for.
What if the unit is vacant?
Different set of facts, but I still use a holding agreement. I do not have them sign the lease until the day they are moving in and I'm handing them the keys. Period. End of report. Pre-signing a lease is a bad business practice. In the event you then have something happen and you can't have them move in on the first like you have a signed contract for because maybe squatters moved in and now you have to evict them. Anything can happen. But those people that are supposed to move in, you have to pay to put them in a hotel at your expense. No, I'm not doing it. That is the one way I can protect me is not sign a lease until the day they move in. And I am handing them the keys. I have all the money. Everything's being signed. It's their house now. I'm giving them the keys. I'm out of here. That is the day I have them sign the contract, not before.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's very educational. Thank you, Patty.
There's a
Do you-
reason why I do it that way, and it's to avoid all the BS that we put ourselves through in the interim.
Do you ever show them do you have them read the leases beforehand, just so there's no questions on that day?
You got to be cautious. Let me explain, okay?
Mhm.
If you send someone a blank lease not signed by you, your intent is to rent to them. If you send someone a lease renewal and they don't sign and return it to you, your intent was to do that renewal. Now you don't have a copy of it. I don't send out anything until the tenant is ready to sign it. Make sense?
Can you send out rental criteria?
Yes,
Would you do? Okay. Okay.
but I do not have them sign a lease contract until I am moving them in, signing all the documents, doing their move-in inspection and handing them the keys, and then I'm leaving their house.
Okay.
Before that, it's a holding deposit agreement. You know why? It's a lot
Because it's not-
easier for me, it's a lot easier for me to terminate a holding deposit agreement than it is to terminate a lease.
Mhm. Very helpful. Thank you so much.
How do you guys terminate a lease? Mutual forfeit
Mutual.
or a court order? That's it. Mutual forfeit or a court order, meaning an eviction. That's it. So don't pre-sign them. You're hurting yourself. Okay?
Mhm.
I will never forget when I had a tenant moving out, and it wasn't a tenant, it was the owner. And they called me and said, Patty, we're not going to move out for another 60 days. I have a tenant moving in on Tuesday. No, you don't. They're not moving in with us. Okay, I'll see if I can put them in something else. No, we don't want something else. We want that house. Okay, guess what, landlord? You're paying to put them in a hotel until you get out of your house. I have to give a reasonable accommodation. Remember, that's what a lease term does, is it makes us landlords responsible to provide a habitable dwelling for that time period. Got it. If we can't provide a habitable dwelling, what do we have to do? Provide reasonable accommodations. Ouch, gets expensive quickly. Okay, keep that in mind. I see more coming in. I'm going to get back to it. Okay. We talked about the fire and the crackhead and their ice cream trucks and God. Hi, Patty. I have some practical, we hadn't answered those. Okay. We've taken deposits many times. If they don't qualify, we simply refund 100%. Nothing signed. I guess this is wrong. You're not signing a lease, Val, and that's where the problem is. Okay. Pre-signing a lease is where the problem is. Pre-signing the lease. If you're just taking money and holding it and then they're moving in, look at it this way. If you're taking deposit money and holding it and then waiting for them to move in to sign the lease, it's fine, but you can't charge them daily rent if they back out. That's what the holding deposit agreement is for, so you can charge them daily rent. Daily rent is defined as holdover damages is 1/30th of the rent based on the court's records. So you take your rent. I always use $1,000 because my blonde brain knows that 1/3 or 1/30th of the $1,000 rent is $33.33 per day. So I use rent of $1,000 because I know by heart what the per diem is. Hope that helps you. So if your rent's $3,000, it's $99.99 a day. Patty, how do you know that? Multiply the $33.33 by 3. Okay, let's see if anybody has anything else. Here comes more questions. Hi,
Patty.
Roadrunner.
Oops.
Somebody's asking me a question. What do you got?
Yes, this is Suri. How are you?
Hi, Suri. What can I do?
I had a tenant that moved out, and 2 weeks before they moved out, we walked through, and there were a bunch of different holes on the walls, and they told me just go ahead and paint. And then when they moved out, they said they hired someone to fix the holes. So they did, but they put it like cake, patching. So it needs more work.
It's not up to your standard and you're going to have it redone at the tenant's expense. That's it. Keep it simple.
Simple.
The same thing applies when they clean the carpet. If it's
Okay.
not up to your standard, then it is not up to your standard, and there is nothing wrong with saying that.
And also the oven, we hired professional people, and yes, you can see they cleaned, but not everything. So it's
Well,
still
if you hired a professional, you may want to get your money back.
okay. Okay, got it. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
No worries. I see something from Roadrunner. We had a tenant call in and ask if they can move units because they see their neighbor is moving out. The neighbor haven't told us that they're moving. Do we need to do anything other than to reach out to that tenant? 24-hour notice to enter. Preventative maintenance inspection. Wink, wink, wink. Oh, you're moving. We had no idea. All right. Anybody have anything else?
Patty, I have a question, please.
Sure.
Look, do you have any smart ideas regarding what we can do when you see these gang members jumping over your gate, back and forth, right and left? I mean, we even went as far as putting barbed wires, and they just still, they do what they want to do. Do you have any clever ideas you can help me with? Go ahead.
Axle grease.
Apply grease on the basically on the iron.
I've
metal.
zipped. Don't say another word. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I got it, Patty. You didn't say it. That's okay. Thank you.
Axle grease. Do you want to know how I know? That's what they put on the top of our high school fence so we'd stop jumping the fence at lunchtime and going outside of campus to get food. Axle grease.
Never heard of that. That's excellent idea. Thank you.
I only know because they put it on my high school fence in high school. That's all. And yes, I went to school in Lawndale. No more comments needed. That's one thing I can do to help you. The other thing I can do to help you is tell you to call the WeTip hotline. The third thing I'm going to do to tell you is contact your local law enforcement and ask to speak to their gang task force. Let them know what's going on at your property. There's 3 things I gave you to do. Number 4 is going to be to put up a 602 letter on file with law enforcement and put up no trespassing signs. Want me to keep going? I got another one, but it's bad.
Say it if you can anyway.
Keep going, keep going.
I had a 125-pound pit bull. He passed away about 2 years ago. He was 15. And I lived near a bus stop. And my dog loved people, okay? So he would bang his head against the fence until he popped the fence board loose, and then he'd stick his head through the fence to watch the kids go by. He wasn't barking at him. He wasn't lunging at him. He wasn't trying to eat them, okay? But he just wanted to see what was going on. So he'd bang his head against the fence until he broke the boards loose, and then he'd stick his head through so he could watch. I didn't like this. My yard, my dog stay in my yard. I don't like this. So I went to Home Depot and I bought the stuff to electrify the fence so that my dog would stop doing that. And I electrified the fence and put up caution signs. Warning, fence is electrified. I'm not going to say anything else. You put 2 and 2 together. Zap. Sorry. Sorry. You guys are so funny. You're taunting me. Keep going. Yeah, sometimes you don't want all of Patty's answers, okay?
But Patty, if someone gets electrified, you can be sued, no?
Have you ever been shocked by an electric fence?
It's just uncomfortable. That's what you're saying, right?
I'm not telling you to use the one for cattle and livestock. I'm telling you to use one for a dog. It goes zit. And it's for your dog. Warning, electric fence, dog. Warning, dog, electric fence. Warning, warning, warning. Try the other things before you go to electrifying the fence, okay?
Excellent. Thank you, Patty.
No problem. They sell bird aversion spike strips. Might deter them. I have also installed fake cameras with signs that say smile, you're on camera. Yes. All of these things are great ideas. The WeTip hotline in the gang task force is probably your best bet.
Hey,
Keep your-
Patty, Tabitha.
Hey, Curly, what you
Hey,
got? Oh,
I
you got a mess going on.
I got thousands, you know that. I have a single family home. We are doing the tenant's disposition letter. The bathroom mirror has peeled at the bottom, possibly due to ventilation, but the tenant has lived there for 5 years. Can I charge this tenant? Tell me why I cannot, because he's gonna wanna know.
It's peeling from the back, correct?
Yes.
It has to do with the glue that they use to adhere the mirror to the wall. It is eating through the mirror finish and ruining the mirror. Tell me how that is at fault of the tenant.
Perfect.
Usually it's because they use liquid nails and there's a chemical reaction in the liquid nails and the mirror finish that don't mesh. Look at it as acetone on acrylic nails.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh, look, I used a reference. You understood.
You got jokes.
We're all laughing right now because everybody in here went, oh, I know what she means. But same concept. They used a glue that's eating the paint off the piece of glass. The only reason it's a mirror is it has paint on it that is a mirror finish. Oh, that's how that works.
Thank you.
Some people don't understand how a mirror works. It's clear piece of glass and has a paint on the back of it that provides a mirror finish. Ah, this makes so much sense now, Patty. Thank you. When they put a glue on the back of the mirror, they're actually putting it on that mirrored finish. Sometimes that glue doesn't talk well to that and it acts like acetone on acrylic nails. We all know what that looks like, right? It's at no fault of the tenant. If it's coming through from behind the mirror, it has to do with how it was mounted. And you guys, I'm just saying, I shouldn't know all of this. It's like water heaters. I know there's a thermocoupler and a piezo switch, a heating element. I shouldn't know all of this. I know too much about construction. I think it goes par for the course, right? So I got a funny story. One day, there was this one time I was doing a move-in and the people, I always show up early so I could fill out the move-in inspection before they get there. I'm filling it out and I realized the toilet's running. So I take the back off the tank of the toilet and I am straddled the toilet backwards, okay? And I'm rolling up the sleeves for my business suit and I'm digging in the back of the toilet and I realize that the float needs to be adjusted. So I am trying to turn the screw to the float with my thumbnail. Rusty ass screw in the back of a toilet tank with your thumbnail. Really, Patty? But that's what I'm doing. So I'm yelling, and the tenant is in the kitchen walking into the house, which I'm unaware of, and they hear me in the bathroom struggling. So they say, we're here. Can we bring you anything? Are
Someone
you
needs to
okay?
take fiber.
Do you need anything? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to adjust your float valve. And he's all, well, it looks like the door's open. Did you want me to close it? I'm like, sir, I'm doing surgery on the back of your toilet. I'm not using the restroom. I now carry a screwdriver in the trunk of my car. That was embarrassing for me because we all used our thumbnail to try to turn a screw, but I'm yelling, go. And it would sound like I was struggling in the restroom. Yeah, bad. Yeah, I needed more fiber. Can a handicapped elderly person say no when you plan to work on a unit more than 24, 48, or 72 hours in advance on a F verbal? I don't know what a F verbal is. They send me their schedule instead. You can put a 24-hour notice on a property, letting them know that we're going to do work from May the 4th through May the 17th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. during those days. Period. End of report. Got it? A handicapped elderly person can't say that you can't do work there. And I don't know what a F verbal is. They can tell you that that day doesn't work for you or for them, but they also don't have to be there while you're doing the repair. And if they're not complying with a notice to enter, that's a reason for eviction in any city in California. That's Patty's way of telling you there's no more protections in LA County for that type of issue. On a verbal notice, there is no such thing as a verbal notice. It doesn't exist. Can I verbally raise your rent $1 million? Can I verbally do anything? Especially in LA County, there is no verbal notice. It's a written notice. All right, you guys, I am gonna call this a day. I think we're done here. If my sisters are on here, I have a meeting on Friday at 1:30. I will keep you posted, let you know what happens. If you're not on here, I'll give you a call later on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you
So,
are? Hi, I see
yeah.
you.
Thank you so much. So we look forward to your update. Thank you very much.
Friday after work, I'll give you a ring. I should have an update by then. Okay?
Wonderful. This is exciting.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Yay. I'm going.
Patty,
Thanks
Patty,
again,
any update on forms?
No, in fact, I'm
Okay.
gonna be working on that this week.
Okay, great. Thank you for everything. And thanks for all your information. So helpful. Take care.
Always. Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
You guys have a
Bye-bye.
great week. Bye-bye.